Hi guys, Tamara here from Create Your Future. I am a certified law of assumption coach as well as a therapist. And today guys, I have a couple of news to share as well as an amazing success story that I received from Brandy, our receptionist. Before I dive into the success story, and I'm going to read to you an email that my client sent to our receptionist, I would like to share an amazing announcement with you guys. I'm going to be hosting my first workshop / live course, and our topic is going to be how to get your SP, how to get an SP back and keep them for good. So this is going to be 1 hour workshop with the Q&A part in the end, where people are going to be asking me questions about any confusion, about any concepts, or their specific situations. And in the first part of the workshop, I'm going to be explaining the key concepts when it comes to getting an SP, as well as some misconceptions, common traps people fall into while doing this, as well as tips how to get over these common problems to get your SP back. So this workshop is going to be held September 24th, 8 p.m. EST, which is New York time. The seats are limited, so I'm going to be accepting quite a few people, no more than 9 or 10 for this workshop, because I think I would like to dedicate my energy and my focus to each and everyone in the session, and of course answer everybody's questions in the end. So it's not going to be a big workshop at all, but it is going to be recorded. So after that, if you missed it, you're going to be able to get a recording from CYF's website. So guys, I'm so excited for this client, because this is a problem or circumstance that I quite often notice in my clients, and that is obsession. Becoming obsessed with either your SP or, in my client's case, their breakup, which is a very negative story and negative history with your SP. So I'm going to read her email. And while reading, I might pause here and there to comment on some parts or to explain some circumstances. Okay? So I hope you guys enjoy. Here we go. Dear Brandy, and Brandy is our receptionist, guys, from Create Your Future. So most of the time, you guys are going to be communicating with Brandy when it comes to success stories, bookings, cancellations, etc. Dear Brandy, I want to share my success story. I finally got my SP back after 4 months of no contact and a pretty bad breakup that occurred last May. I have known about the law of assumption for a while now, and I've done some coaching in the past. After the breakup, initially, I tried everything I knew. Really, everything. I was affirming all the time. I even did SATs. So guys, for those of you who are maybe new or are not coming from Neville Goddard's teachings, SATs stand for state akin to sleep. And it's basically a technique in which people either visualize they loop a scene while falling asleep, or some people like to repeat a story while falling asleep. So I did even SATs, and nothing changed, even though I was persisting for weeks. Again, I have to stop here, guys, sorry. So when it comes to persisting, there is this misconception that just because you have been doing X, Y, and Z technique or techniques, 5 of them at the same time, that you have been persisting. This is false most of the time, and let me tell you why. So what people often do from what I've noticed, is this. They sit down, they do sats. For example, they do sats for 30 minutes, they loop a scene. And then for the next 23.5 hours, they're aware of, what do you think, what? The negative story. The negative story. They go back to the old state and they stay there. So guys, once again, please, persisting does not mean doing techniques over and over and over again, while still being pretty much aware and accepting the old story. I promise you, you could do all techniques that are out there in the world. Nothing's going to change before you do, before you truly change your state of being. Which means you naturally let go of the negative stories, let go of negative expectations, let go of the old version of you as well as your SP, and totally start embracing your desired end. And you go back to it as often as you can, and you make it your dominant state of being. And how do you know something is a dominant state of being? Well, if you naturally have thoughts and feelings and desired actions from that state, that means it's your dominant. It became natural to you. Okay? So, you can persist in doing techniques, which is not the same as persisting in your state / desired end. Okay? Let's get this out of the way. All right, where were we? Okay, for weeks, I realized I was obsessed with my SP, and I knew that it was somehow holding me back, but I didn't know what to do about it. As weeks went by, I became more and more discouraged, and once again, I decided to take coaching with Create Your Future. I have been watching Tamara's videos for a while, and her energy as well as her background in psychology really fascinated me. So I decided to get coaching from her. I can now say that I'm so happy I did, because guess what? I went on a date with my SP/boyfriend last night, and it was far better than I could have ever imagined / visualized. LOL. Okay. Again, I'm going to stop here for a second. And I'm going to comment on this obsession part, guys. There is this big myth, and I can honestly say that it's totally a myth, that you cannot manifest an SP because you think about them too much, aka you are obsessed with them. This is not true. I can be obsessed with this necklace as much as I want, but if my obsession comes from the state of having it and being aware that this is mine, then guess what? I'm always going to be experiencing having this necklace. Versus, if I were to obsess over my necklace from the state of not having it, for example, oh my gosh, I lost it, where is it, etc. Well, guess what? Likely, I wouldn't be wearing this necklace right now. So I wouldn't be experiencing it in my 3D. And that is the type of obsession that we, aim to overcome when it comes to manifesting. So this is what I was working on with this client in particular. We were using this obsession of hers to practice detaching from her old states, practice detaching from the old version of her SP, realizing that it's not him that she wants in the first place, and using that energy to practice embodying her desired state. So I told her, it's not a problem to obsess over your SP, but let's obsess over the fact that you guys are back together and you're dating. And you guys are perfect together. You're obsessed over how happy this guy makes you. How about that? And she took my advice. She detached from old states whenever they would come up. And guys, old states will come up. It's nothing unusual. There's nothing wrong with you. It doesn't mean you haven't been persisting. No. It just means your old states see a sort of a cue in your 3D, something triggering, something they perceive as common, usual for their story. So they react. They pop back up and they're giving you a choice, guys. They're giving you a choice. They're asking you, do you still accept this story as your truth? Yes or no? Who do you want to be? Are you still that old version of yourself? At any single point in time, guys, you get to say no. No. No, thank you. That is not me anymore. I know my truth. I know my story. I'm sticking with my new state. Okay? So she was doing that for quite some time, successfully. And she totally obsessed over the fact that they are now back together, regardless of what she saw or didn't see in the 3D. And guys, trust me, I was coaching this person for a while. I know that there were tons of negative reactions and triggers in the 3D. But in those moments, it's very important to detach from that, to realize it has nothing to do with you and your new state. And then once again, to totally embrace your desired end. Okay? Going back to the story, Tamara was 100% right when she told me that I didn't need to lift a finger. And I also did not need to loop the same scene over and over again, which made me so relieved as it was causing me to become super drained and anxious. So again, guys, it's not about looping a scene. It's not about reprogramming your mind. This is about being who you want to be most of the time and going back to that state over and over again. So if I'm now in a state of being a therapist and a coach, am I imagining the same sentence, same client, same session over and over again? No, I'm not. We're having tons of memories, visuals, millions of thoughts in relation to any of our states. So it's not about looping, it's about aligning the thoughts and visuals that match your desired state. Okay? So looping is not necessary. I'm so grateful for her help and plenty of amazing tips and tricks she gave me to overcome my obsession and use that energy in a good way in order to manifest my SP. We are on a great terms now. We are in a dating stage once again, and I'll be seeing Tamara soon to discuss my next steps. Thank you, Tamara, so much, and thank you, CYF. I am so happy for you. You know who you are, and I'm so proud of what you did. I know that this is not the easiest thing to do, guys. I'm totally aware of that. I manifested SPs in the past. I've met so many people who have too, including clients, friends, other coaches I've talked to. I know there is this element of huge emotional attachment when it comes to our SP stories. That's why it's very important to keep your sanity intact while going through all of this process, okay? And not to become drained in the end, as my client perfectly said, which is a very common mistake or very common problem people face when manifesting their SPs or manifesting their SPs back. So becoming obsessed with the old version, with the old history, with that version of their SP, not letting go of the old story, and eventually getting so drained that they totally get discouraged and give up. So I don't want you to do that, guys. It is totally possible to stay healthy while doing this, to not get into this trap of becoming obsessed with a negative story, but instead use those emotions to fuel your manifestation and to basically motivate yourself to occupy your desired state as much as you can. Okay? I hope this story was motivating for you guys. If you want my help, I do one-on-one coaching sessions, and the links are down below in the description box. Thank you for today, guys. I wish you a lovely weekend and see you next week. See you next time.